Hi everyone, my name is Greg, and today I prepare for you 6 latest questions from instrumentation, and this topic will be alerting systems and proximity system. So, going to the question number 1. Concerning the flight warning system, FWS, warning messages are highest priority alert messages, are never associated to an engine fire, are inhibited by caution messages, indicate that subsequent crew action may be required. So, flight warning system consists of 3 levels of alerts. From the highest priority, these are warnings, which are red alerts that require immediate awareness and immediate response. There are also cautions that are yellow or amber alerts, and they require immediate awareness but subsequent crew response. And we have also advisories. These alerts require crew awareness and only may require subsequent actions. Advisories are usually white, however, regulations state that it can be any color except yellow, amber, or green. Now, one of the features of FWS is that warnings and cautions have to be prioritized, not only within each alert level, but also between each other. So, coming back to the answers, warning messages are highest priority alert messages will be correct. Now, answer number 2 is incorrect because warning messages are actually associated to an engine fire. They cannot be inhibited by caution messages because caution messages have lower priority. And warning messages indicate the immediate crew action, not subsequent. So, answer number 1 is correct. Now, question number 2. The function of the altitude alerting system is to alert the flight crew. And then we have 5 options, and we have to choose the combination that regroups all of the correct statements. So, the altitude alerting system is a system that is mandatory on all turbojet aircraft and on turbine-powered aircraft with a maximum takeoff mass higher than 5,700 kilograms or with more than 9 passenger seats. And this system has 2 functions. First, it has to alert the crew that we are approaching target altitude. And the second function is that it has to issue an alert in case of a deviation from the selected altitude. Now, depending on manufacturer, we have a different threshold for altitude alerting system being activated. So, for example, for Airbus aircraft, alert starts 750 feet before selected altitude and lasts up to 200 feet before target value. The same values are for deviation. So whenever the aircraft deviates more than 200 feet from pre-selected altitude, we will have an alert. Now, for Boeing aircraft, the philosophy behind altitude alerting system is exactly the same, but with a bit different thresholds, namely 900 feet and 300 feet. Now, coming back to the options given in questions, we can see that option number 1, upon approaching a pre-selected altitude, yes, that's correct, we'll get an alert. Upon approaching a pre-selected altitude only during climb, of course not, because we have this alert both in climb and descent. Option number 3, loss of altitude during takeoff or misapproach. No, this is a function of GPWS mode 3. Next option, wrong landing configuration. Once again, is GPWS option for mode 4. And number 5, deviating from the selected altitude. Yes, that's correct. So the correct combination will be 1 and 5. So answer number 3 is correct. Now, question number 3. On a training flight with a T-tail large commercial aircraft, an approach to stall maneuver is practiced. During the maneuver, there are no tactile, oral, or visual indications. However, when the aerodynamic buffet is sensed, the throttles advance to full power and the stick pusher function is activated. After landing, you will inform maintenance personnel that. And then we have 4 options describing which system doesn't operate and which is operating normally. So stall warning system and so stall protection system. So let's first describe the difference between both systems. Stall warning system warns the crew about approaching to the stall, and it uses angle of attack sensors to detect such conditions. And just a short reminder, stall depends only on the angle of attack and not on the speed we fly. That's a very important thing to remember. Now, stall warning may consist of red massive warning light, red stall message, audible warning horn, or stall voice warning. On some aircraft, we have also a stick shaker, which is a tactile warning that vibrates a control column. Stall protection system, on the other hand, are systems that actively help to prevent stall by using stick pushers. And it works as simple as it sounds. So it's a device that physically pushes the control column forward to help recover from stall. And this system is especially important in some T-tail aircraft that have poor stall characteristics and are prone to experience something that we call a deep stall or super stall. It's a condition where disturbed, detached air from wings cover horizontal stabilizer and also elevator, making a recovery extremely difficult, if not impossible. So, to summarize, stall warning system warns of upcoming stall, and stall protection system helps recover from stall when already in stall conditions. So, returning to questions, we can see that since we have no tactile or visual indications approaching to stall, that means that stall warning system is inoperative. But when the aerodynamic buffer descends, the stick pusher function is activated. So the stall protection system operates normally. So answer number 1 is correct. Now, just a small side note. We have a statement that when aerodynamic buffet is sensed, the throttles advance to full power. Well, I must say that I couldn't find any verified information about auto throttle system being coupled with a stall protection system in any large commercial aircraft. We have to remember that adding thrust on engines that are mounted below CG, actually that thrust vector is below CG, would create a pitch-up moment that in worst-case scenario could overcome the effectiveness of an elevator, making recovery very difficult. But fortunately for this question, this statement does not bring any confusion regarding the correct answer. So once again, answer number 1 is correct. Now, question number 4. Which system generates the sound wind shear? Wind shear. And we have FADEC, IRS, wind shear alert system, and GPWS mode 7. Okay, so first, let's exclude 2 obvious wrong answer. So FADEC, full authority digital engine control, and IRS, initial reference system, because these 2 systems have nothing to do with alerting. Now, looking at 2 remaining options, first, wind shear alert system. Here, I believe the examiner meant predictive wind shear system, which is a part of weather radar system, and it detects potential wind shear ahead of the aircraft using Doppler radar returns, and issues an oral wind shear ahead warning. Now, the second option is ground proximity warning system mode 7, which gives the crew a visual and oral reactive wind shear warning. It basically means that the aircraft has already encountered wind shear, and GPWS senses it from changes in airspeed, changes in ground speed, rate of change of altitude, as well as from changes in angle of attack. And this system is active only up to 1,500 feet radio altitude during takeoff and misapproach, and from 1,500 feet to 10 feet radio altitude during approach. Now, what's important for this question is that GPWS Mode 7 is the system that gives an oral wind shear warning, about which we are asked here. So the correct answer will be answer number 4, GPWS Mode 7. Question number 5. The purpose of the takeoff warning system is to help ensure that. And we have 4 options, like always. So let's think what the takeoff configuration warning system actually is. So it is a system that checks aircraft's configuration and status of critical systems to ensure that safe takeoff can be performed. This warning is triggered when the thrust levers are moved beyond the position that would normally be used during taxi, and the takeoff configuration warning system detects improper configuration of the aircraft. This warning can be cancelled only by moving back the thrust levers. Now, items that might trigger takeoff configuration warning are, for example, incorrect pitch during setting, incorrect flaps and slat setting. It can be also speed brakes not stowed, parking brake set, or brake temperature above maximum. It can be also V speeds not set in FMS. So, looking for the answers in the answers, the correct answer for the question will be answer number 1. The purpose of takeoff warning system is to help ensure that takeoff is attempted in appropriate and safe configurations. And this answer is correct. Now, the last question, number 6. When comparing a TCAS traffic advisory, TA, and the resolution advisory, RA, which of the following statements is correct? And we have a description of, we have to find the correct description of TA and RA. So, TCAS, Traffic Collision Avoidance System, is a system that informs us of the position of traffic in our vicinity, and in case of conflicting traffic, issues alerts, and there are 2 types of them. So the first one is TA, the Traffic Advisory. The TA is issued if there is a potentially conflicting traffic, and this alert is based on predicted time to the so-called closest point of approach. The traffic advisory consists of oral alert traffic, together with a visual indication of the relative bearing of the intruder on the navigation display. It's depicted as a yellow circle with a small arrow that indicates the vertical movement of the traffic. It's also worth to mention that in case of TA, pilots are not required to take any actions. Now, regarding the RA, the resolution advisory is issued when the conflicting traffic is within 15 to 35 seconds of closest point of approach. And this one is depicted on ND as a solid red square, also with an arrow showing the relative movement, vertical movement of this traffic. Now, the difference between TA and RA is that in RA, TCAS commands avoid maneuvers in a vertical plane, and these commands have to be followed without any delay by the pilots. It is also very important to remember that all TCAS resolutions advisories have precedence over ATC instructions given. So now, coming back to the questions, as we can see, the correct answer will be TA indicates a relative position of the intruder, and RA provides a vertical traffic avoidance maneuver. So answer number 2 will be correct answer. Okay, that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you next time.